How are you? Ah, I, I still haven't been able to get California off me yet. There's reasons that those of us who are such high frequency beings that move around and do clearings and even just got out of ancient magic and how in the higher ethers you've got a day that might equal 3 different days because of what you've got connected in the past 3 years and how that lines up in your world. And so I haven't been able to shower yet. So I'm in this is Natalie's Bob Marley shirt that I borrowed. This is not my shirt, but this shirt has been a part of my journey because that's what we teach over here, and we walk it. There, you in this new now, because everything is so different. I'm on here talking today because of the situation that we're in. And those of us who walked it, we know somebody's gonna push that button because in our world they already have so many times. Now, that's because the way the ethers work. And what was robbed from us down here. Okay? Now I want you to listen to me. What was robbed from us was your etheric body. Now, you might think, now, and this is because now realize that I didn't know anything about any of this until I had a shock activation 2017. I was in an Orion program. If you have Orion in your chart, I understand you. And all the ones that call me crazy, it's like, have you showed up to look at the 60,000 pictures in the physics? Have you talked to the people that I've healed? Have you talked to the witnesses that have been with me, that have watched the changes? Have you gone and talked to the people that were snowed in with me on highways? What about the ones that were connected to the White House that were making me go to Bank of America to clear grids? See, nobody's asked me any questions. They just want to come with this. Now, I know this is happening across the board because I'm seeing others that are, we know what we need to know. And I know that others have been attacked like us, but it's not really an attack. What it is this whole thing reset, and we reworked the entire body and brain of the collective. We did. It was rebirth. Everything in this plane is now a different physics. You are back to one, where everything comes from inside and has to come out of heart frequency. Why? Because your brain was what was being taken over. Now realize that me and my fullest understanding of who I am and why I'm here now, which I did not know. And not everybody on the planet needs to know. But beings like me and my crew, this is what we have bred for, and we have been, and so many people sacrificed so much for so long to make sure that we could pull this off. Now, what I mean by pull it off is get inside your bubble and hurry up and clean your DNA as quick as possible so that this planet didn't go into the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Now, I've been saying that since the beginning because that's the truth. Now, what happened is that RH negatives and all this that was formed, this and your RH negative, this is why nobody knows anything about blood. Nobody knows anything about their blood. I mean, you ask 100 people what's your blood type, And I bet you that the only ones that can really tell you are the ones who had been pregnant and they had to have a ROGAM shot. And that's the only reason that they even knew that they's RH negative. This has always been the blood wars. It always has been, because of what I'm telling you right now. ABO blood was made in German World War II. Now there was a reason that happened. Because from the highest, what was happening is that we as a collective were being held captive by entities that were governing this plane. Not human. Not human. Not human. Now, this is what they didn't, and this is one of the big things that nobody wants to say, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but then they want to make all reptilians bad, and blah, 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 because what you have to realize is that the way things really work down here in this plane is that we all work together in one big brain. We did. Until we blew up ABO blood. Now, your Arcturus and your higher consciousnesses that are in the higher bubble, because remember, it's like an apple peel. It is. It's like, you're taking things back across the board. Okay. Yes, we are. Because the antimatter was here, and I'm going to try my best, man, because I'm still putting together what the F-balls went on in California, y'all. Pleiades, right, because the Pleiades was a birth canal, because they had been wrangling stars. See, whenever you start dealing with stars, you have to realize this sucker goes wonk, wonk, wonk. Cottonwood, Cali. How you going from that earthquake? Do you feel it? Did you feel that quake? We had that Texas. We have that moving across Texas right now too, and Florida. And then I was just notified. You did not. So there was a big one right there on the northwest coast of Cali. I knew they was gonna. So this has to do with that under rip current. So if you're in Cali and I feel your energy, if you'll go outside and connect, and you'll connect into the ground, and if you'll ask the ancestors to connect you to Chastia's current to assist, because what we started there, and you don't even need to be by the ocean, it'll just help the ocean will tune into your energy, and you'll start feeling it in your body, and you can assist us in kind of keeping a gauge over there. So just go outside, put your feet on the ground, and say, connect me. I know if you connect me to the oceans, connect me to Chastia's way. Because what we were doing was trying to lift that as much as possible, as deep as possible, to create some type of wall out there. I'm not always fully understanding, but we were in the harvest moon right there when we did it, and it was a trip out night. And now I know it even had to do with the last possession that it's nuts what I just got out of over there, y'all. I'm still, because it was the antimatter, and that's like the main thing I want to talk about, because it's the antimatter. Perfect. And it's Christy with an I. If you tell me Christy, I know I don't care, but the freaking Matrix does. Lord have mercy. I had to clear how many Christinas, everything. It's so crazy, the name. That's why I'm like, Chastia. I'm just Chastia. Hold on, I'm trying to get the lid off this pen. I'm just flowing with y'all. This is how we do it. Thank you, Joshua. So, we're talking about stars and the Pleiades and a birthing system. And you have to realize that the wheel This wheel, that's what, when I look, it's not the zodiac to me. This is a time wheel. This tells me DNA. This tells me when you came in. It tells me what divisions you're stuck in. It tells me what your life lesson is. It tells me what you need to master. It tells me what you don't need to master. It tells me where you jumped into this, where you screwed up last time, because see, this thing you have to remember is stacked, and that's what we have with this Brian. He's amazing 3D modeler, and he has one of these fidget spinners we're talking about releasing, because it's got all these gears, because this is the wheel that came into this dimension. Look. Now this wheel exists up here too. It does. Right? Now it's gonna have, this one's gonna have way less. And then it goes up, and then maybe, and then, I mean, but shit, I don't know, what star system are you coming from? Because, whoa. You might be over here, and you're coming in like this on this one, because maybe you're over here, back here in the DC, in the Vegas. So it's like, because this is Algorand, this is like me. So it's like when I come in, I'm like into this density. If you're full light, if you're full on light, when you come in, guess what? You project full on dark. You project full on dark. That's is why I'm going to stand up for myself to the end of dying day. But that's also why I'm the one who understands why my fathers lose their minds when they come into this low dimension. Because down here you think that this is open. No, my friends. No, this is how many projections that are coming, and how many directions, and how many come in here. Well, these go way out, so then boo, 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 boo. And then we didn't even do these over here. I mean, because hell, this was merging us spheres. And if you had to have all 4 royal lines to be able to line up this eyeball, which you call the Eye of Ra. Now that's how it lines up. And then you would call this Fomohot. AU was AU. AU is gold. AU is space. And this is 4, 6, 2, 2. And then there's Al. Everybody loves Al, right? Algorand, Al, every angle. How many, go look it up. How many stars have Al angles? What do you love? La, LA. What is that? Angle alpha. This is angle alpha. This is alpha angle. Well, and what's this? Al G. Well, and then what's the Mason G? An angle on G. Well, what's that? GIS. What's that? Geo. What's that? Grids. Fencing. Fencing. You cannot go this direction. No. Gas is $7 right here, and it's $3 right here. It's fucking crazy. This blew my car engine. When I left Oklahoma and drove through the Google gate to get to Eclipse, blew my Kia engine. Blew a V6 engine flat out when I went through that water gate. Fomohot, that lines it up. Why am I talking about this? Because the thing says antimatter, right? Well, what do you think all this is? See all these timelines that come this way from this group, because I mean, you have to realize there's beings that have a consciousness that's more from a lab. There's some that have a consciousness more from an animal, a dragon, a dog, monkey. That don't make you any less nothing. This actually means that you have way more internal intuition. Whereas these guys up here, they're going to be wicked smart, but they have no book sense. They listen to only things in their head. They only look at the visions, right? Well, then their problem was they needed to do this part, and their problem was they needed to do this part, and then there's the people over here that were just totally getting fucked. We're the ones that are getting experimented on that nobody even knew about. I mean, which is why I know all this. How would I know all this? So, but antimatter, boom, 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 boom. Now you think and we're talking stars. I mean, this is 22 star races. This is 22 star races. 22 star races that merged and made DNA that ended up being these guys getting experimented on. Because we came back and we put together DNA, we've got da because we had already picked up your pieces in the future and we had already put it back together in the future. That's why they knew that we were going to come do it. I'm not even kidding you. My heart just went dun dun dun. This is also Bill Gates, all that. Because all he was trying to do was gate right here. Gate your mind. Gate it from this perception. You use a flat screen. Flat screens are not, that's not good. That's what we're fixing. We have portal protectors coming out. That's your screens. You need to cover them up. You need to cover up your screens. Why? Because this is what it's doing in your sleep. It's screening. It's blocking. So it's keeping this like this, or this perception over here, or this perception. Well, the only way that you can manifest wholly is to line all of these up, pull them all in, and you literally have to hold all of these in balance. Ding, 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 and then boom, you're self-aware. And you're manifesting. If you don't have all those lined up, then you're not. Well, they didn't want you to have them lined up. They actually sold off, this is one part of NATO, this is one part of NATO, this is one part of NATO. I mean, there's all this da-da-da-da. Well, what the antimatter did, it was through space-time, like literally. Whenever, and for me, I had the crimson worm. I didn't know. Now I know that's why they carved me up. But there was literally 0.025% of human DNA left. 0.025% of DNA, human DNA left to put it all back together. So what the antimatter did is pop us, and this is why I ended up being an adopted baby here. No matter if it came from a lab or however it came to pass that I ended up in 1972 in Bryan College Station, Texas, at Texas A&M. However that came to pass, whether this was, because this was a doodock spell. it was an Aggie spell too. This was a spell to put the divine feminine in a gig. An IG. What do you got? 5G. IG. Gig. Pig. It's a trick. That's Aggies. But this is all about ag. See, we surpassed ag because we went sonar. Because nobody would listen to me. They thought, oh, well, we'll just take this and we'll make organics and then we'll make a farmer's bank. Literally, that's what they did. And then we'll just take this piece and we'll just put them out in space and blow them out a rocket, because we'll just have their bodies trickle in their, I don't know, I guess this is what they thought. Have their bodies trickle, I don't know, when you blow somebody out of a rocket, I don't know what you expect. And so it's like, I guess, and I don't even know. So, and then these ones, we were like, oh, and we'll just take her fashion, the soil, we'll just steal it all, because we're right here above her, so that's what we used her to connect all this stuff right here. And then we'll just pop in her eye, literally. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you think that this is just nothing right here. This is antimatter. This antimatter was following every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all. We had eyes everywhere. Now we don't even need it, because the space we cleared it. Any of us that cleared the space and that cleared and did healing, we were attached to this antimatter. We were the ones changing time. We're your damn collective, and you will listen to us. Because as these spheres were merging in 2020, when everybody just decided they's going to go back to sleep and they's going to send us, I don't know, they's trying to make us into all the fish. Y'all can believe what you want. But they didn't want to have, there wasn't going to be any money to pay anybody anymore to do what they's doing to us. So they was having to figure out. So even those of you who thought, oh, well, I'm going to get this big contract and I'm going to get this da-da-da. No, you're not. You're about to see what she was going to get. The world's about to blow up. You weren't going to get shit. They just wanted your soul. They wanted contracts on your whole family. They wanted you to sign up real quick because you had to, because you were clear. There was no karma. You just signed up for everything again. And then you attempted to sign up everybody in your family again? No, that's why we rewrote the blood. There's no attachment. There's no attachment to these beings over here, to us, that rewrote the blood. Why? Because everybody in this antimatter is trying to get one over on somebody. But this antimatter is what popped me over here in order to defeat it. And this antimatter is also the one that had me in Germany with Maria Orsic. And this antimatter is the one that had me wherever. Because I've been conscious the whole damn time. I was Venus. I'm an incarnate. Duh. Why would I know all this? I literally went up to Speaker. The Puritans are your speakings. We're the first ones that got killed for all this. There's your 200 speakings. You want to call us? I mean, we're also the ones that come down in little balls of energy and make your crop circles that people want to study for eons. And then you want to say, hey, no, that's the energy of the land. That's the souls that have lost their bodies because they stole your etheric body. Your etheric body is the things in between that you called antimatter. Your etheric body is your body that's attached to the stars and the original roots of where you came from, which is stacked, which allows you to control a lot on land, on water, just like Joshua is going out there now. There's 20,000 Hell's Angels descending on Stockton, California right now, too. We're at DEFCON 2 right now. I was in Boulder, Nevada, not Colorado. I was in Boulder, Nevada, right by Kingman, when they pushed the button. Now, I don't know, see, and this is where timelines and what year it was. You got me because you know, recently when I went to that Indian grounds in Joshua Tree, they told me that it had been 1940 since they did those $40 night rooms. Well, I just did it 3 years ago, so I don't know if I was in 1940 or what year I was in when I stayed there. Who knows? The way that they were blasting, we were having to get through and changing timelines and jumping because I walked your vector Pisces and time travel and all that is inside your body. People say, you know, all the time, what is yours cannot be taken. Correct, but you got to open it up. What's yours? You don't even know. I didn't know. I had no idea. I knew that I was different. I mean, that was easy. I knew for some reason, like, crazy shit was always happening to me, and it seemed like it all happened at once. It's either all really great or all really bad, man. That's Algorab. That's 12 to 16 degrees Libra. You got that. It's like you're either in heaven or you are in hell. There's like no in between. And that's because we're the balance. That's because Algorab's holding the balance of these realms way out here, this dark space is holding this whole thing up. Because everybody wants to go, what's organic tech? What's organic? Your body, your blood, the planets, how your brain works together, and all that you call space in between, that you're doing stupid shit like this to. That's your body. So sure, let's just keep blowing it up. Fucking retards. That's your body. That's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do. And then up here, there's a birthing process that happens way up here to go down into this area of space that only us right here knew about, because we were the ancients that hooked it up, because this is where it gets to your pyramids and how they project the DNA and Giza alignments and Ophiuchus alignments, because now you're talking about deep, 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 deep space. And this always was an Ophiuchian alignment. This is the time of peace. This is what Ophiuchus is. It's the time of peace. I keep saying Spica. It's in the Bible. Look it up. It's also Virgo, the wheat. Well, what that is prophetic tongue. That means that what I say is reality. Anybody who has Spica, you got it too. That's why you get yourself in trouble if you don't know that you have that energy. And you really need to know what you're talking about whenever you start talking about it. This happens to be, I'm an astronomist. I activated for this. I'm the one who had all 4 royal strands that aligned them. This is why I have 6 planets in Libra. Right here. And it goes directly like that. I got 6 planets right here. And then if you move it on Drac, it's 6 planets in Sag with a connect in Scorpio. 3.23 away from Antares. When the antimatter left, all this and what's happening right now is that it's the residue. This is what's happening in the world right now, is that this highlighted. It's like these guys are like, wait a minute, I see you. Wait a minute, I see you. Hold on a minute. That's what, because before with the antimatter, it looked like there's all this in between. It's like all this. No, it's just a big mirror. We's watching both sides. And all of us that walk the shadow, that were from your ancient halls of Amente, that are your planet, that rebirthed the blood of the planet and connected your bodies and shit back, we're the ones that have been watching you try to set us all up. And when the antimatter left, because I got a picture, because I know exactly when it left, because I've got pictures of it pulling out of the sun. It totally looks like God has an astronaut by a neck. Because we were projected into the sun, because we're your sun people, but the China sun was false until we literally went into Sun Solaris, and then that's whenever they blew us out of a rocket. Because nothing down here was real, it was a simulation. And that's the truth. Now what's happening is your planet is becoming real again, and all this bullshit is having to be blah, 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 and everyone's seeing it. So all you that did this bull right here, you best come nice, and you best just apologize. You best just come nice, and you best just apologize. And Gaga too, I'm glad you didn't do that rain dance. Thank you, darling. Thank you. And PRN, thank you. There's levels of this from the Illuminati, what you would call, and Skull and Bones, and screw all that. We're talking about the Valkyrie, the Thule, the Dragon Orders, all the covens of the world, how they bind together, even the vegans and their old dark magic celebrity woo-woo, whatever the hell balls they call themselves over there. That's what Willie says. You best just come clean, because this is a circus that you set up, circus. But this is what the antimatter did in every crevice. And so for all of us that walk through here, can you only imagine what we had to do and witness? Because we's conscious the whole time going through here, realize I got cooked. And tried to be spinal tapped. And then this time I didn't get hit by the car, but the Asian girl did as soon as I pulled into Anaheim. down to the roots of your DNA. Because I had already rewritten the AB neg. The antimatter had already done that. All they had to do was make nice and line these spheres up and turn off their bullshit. And no, they decided to blow us out of the matrix with SpaceX 9 and some bullshit and set up some big ass, collective hive that was run off an X and a Y chromosome that had no connection to anything but negative space. And it deleted and made null your entire DNA sequence and took over your brain. And all they did was make an X and Y little baby attached to the lab rats that they called us, or your adopted whatever. But no, honeys, we's your ancients, we's your masters. And what you did was lock us back down, and you knew it. And we watched you do it from up here and down here. And then you blew us out of the matrix. And then what? You're just going to take hold of the whole thing? You don't even know how to put it together. All you know how to do is send lasers out. So what happened is this kept getting bigger and bigger. This is what happened. So this blew up. So then we come in and we're like, okay, well, I rework you. Fuck you. Purple blood. Purple blood. So that humans can stay alive, so that we can keep a reality down here. Because you just blew that up because you're ignorant and you didn't talk to any of the ancients and you think you can do whatever you want and change whatever you want in Mother Nature. So you just blew all that up. So then my whole crew gets out of the sun, gets out of Sun Solaris. You blow us all over the place. But then no, we already had the hues. So we already had the 22 rays, and we had already beamed down before like that. So we just jumped right back in and did it again. And then you want to say, okay, you're the energy company of Cav Ming, and that this is your current, and then you want to kick us out of California with a wave that we just set up to anchor the whole world because you want to run some cocaine on a pier? All right. Well, I guess we're going to blow up the world again. Because that's just what you did. You got Alpha Draconic going over here. It's beaming out over here on Sirius A. You got Gemini blowing up right here. Okay. Well, I'm your Uriel way, and I say screw you. Over and out. See ya. Going straight down. Have fun. We ain't coming to get you. Here's your Pleiadian lineup. Good luck coming through that birth canal. We'll see you later, alligator. Fine by us. All of us up here that are hued, I'm telling you, Cohue 32 and how you align your colors and subliminal codes that are around you and the colors that are around you change your energy in a minute. Depending on who you are, ciphering abilities. That's why we're getting this stuff out to you the way that we're doing it. Even in the NHL, this is why I've got this behind me. Put colors up around you. Do not do all black and white. It's too easy to replicate. It's just like a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Do you want it to lay over? Do you want it to be perfect? Okay, well then, if you keep it perfect, someone else, if you're gang stalked and if they're trying to realign with you, you need to change your stuff around in your house if you haven't done it in a while. Because they're watching you and they have a dummy set. You need to not do all black and white. You need to put some colors up. You need to change it up. You need to hue, because when you go out, if you always wear the same thing, or if you're going somewhere and you know that you need to mark yourself. Wear an old pin, a brooch, something your grandmother gave you, something that nobody could ever mimic. It saved my ass the whole time. Why do you think I drove around with a car full of old vintage clothes? You can't mimic me. It's impossible. You can try, and then whenever you do, it's real funny, because, you can see it dead on, because it's so specific. But all of you that are looking at it, if you watch this and you're going, oh, she's out of her mind, okay, yeah, I'm out of my mind. But you got dead presidents walking around and Putin wanting to blow everybody up from a nuclear fusion that is collective. There's no nuclear energy without the collective. Now the thing is It needs to blow up. It does. I mean, I'm in full agreement. So with all of us that were ancients that rewrote it, because we're your real masters, we know what comes next. There ain't no way in hell it's gonna come. You already have the World Cup moving in on Christmas. That was announced today. You got 20,000 Hells Angels moving into Stockton, California right now. That's gonna be interesting. That town just had to pay $500,000 to get ready for them so that they try to fucking hold them down. Okay. But then you can't offer free housing to anybody. But then the Hells Angels come to town and you want to secure up. But nobody can stop them. And the World Cup is going to be now every 4 years on Christmas, like a leap year. Sounds like Columbia Cartel and fucking Hells Angels took over your world to me. But that was what we were screaming when we were in California, telling you it was Baghdad. The lead one I'm still talking to. He's the one who stole all my money. And my cruise money. Over $50,000 cash in this round. I'm still wondering why George Braun and Zulin haven't given me a ring, because I didn't sign no active server page agreement on no harmonious equity reciprocity with no Oscar Reyes. You signed Ari up for it, and he's dying. I went through process, and I'm alive, and look what's happening. And then what do you want to do? Put me in a rocket and blow me out, take my child? Okay. Then you must not want to breathe. You must not want oxygen. You must not want human life. You mess with the wrong people. Everybody needs to sit out and shut up. We have done nothing but try to save your fucking planet this whole time. And you will listen now. I don't know what's going on with Putin and his freaking whatever. I know that I did not want to have to activate Anastasia. I did not want to have to do that in Florida. Where's your hurricane heading for? Brooksville. Why? Because in January I was sent there with a bunch of AB negatives that were attempting to steal my soul, and they did. They ended up putting me in a cook soup, which ended up in Anaheim. But that's what they do to beings like me that y'all don't claim. You think that we're crazy and you think that we're this and that whenever we claim who we are. No, then we become the hottest ticket in town, and you better bet everybody's trying to fucking hunt us down in every way possible. Ways you can't even imagine. We've walked the Shaw, we've walked the 0 point. All we've done is walk through death. It's where we came from. It's what ABO blood was made off of. Death. Everything down here that has any value only has it after death. Why? It was AD. It was after death. I know it's hard to fathom, but if you really think about it, what happened in World War II is that everybody got gas. What's our current problem? We got a gas problem. We're all one big bubble. We're a bunch of energies in a bubble. Each one of those energies has a band. The blood has a band until you break out of it. The organization that you're in has a band until you break out of it. Or if you like it, stay in it. But know that you're in a band. Whatever religion you're in a band. Whatever you have signed whatever corporation you're working for, you're in a band. Whoever's paying you, you're in their band. Whoever's insurance company you're on, oh man, you're the ringleader. Those of us who are targeted are mostly targeted if we have power, and if you hold power connected to Sagittarius, or if you're a princess, or if you're royal, not a queen. Queen is different than a princess. Princess is connected into the DNA of the ground. A princess, a royal princess, is made from a royal king and a royal queen from 2 different royal lines. That's how you end up with 4. Not 1. It was the Scottish and the Irish and the Scotlands, all of us that got raped, murdered, killed. Why? We had 3. We had 3 from the get. We had Scotland. We had Irish, which was your connection. If you didn't have the Irish connection, then you didn't have the connection into Leah Fail, and you didn't have connection into the G line. That's your IRA. They're the ones who were governing that. Off old Knights Templar bullshit from way, way, way long ago, off a little girl in the ground that's always been your Sarah Damaris and Yahshua's sister. But everybody wants to go, Jesus, Jesus, and you drive them mad every single time. You do. The world drives them mad. Can you imagine do you know how pissed off I was when I had to come down here? I already had to claim Sarah Damaris, which nobody knew about, but that's who I was. And I've walked the whole thing. Mary Queen of Scots, Rex James, what? I'm in the tower, what? I'm fixing to be beheaded, sounds about right. Where's he at? With the lead military people? There you go. I'm walking it right now. They're the Donleys. The Donleys, the Donahays, the Donas, the donors. You had your donors, and then you had your royal line that was gassed and experimented on and twin set up and made you watch everybody suffer and made you watch people saw them up. I mean, you don't even want to know. But it kept going on. I mean, Russians just got arrested for this in Houston. Everybody thought that it stopped. No. It never stopped. Nor did those of us that happened to be in the line, did we ever get a choice. We just showed up here and were sold. I know that my whole lifetime right now, I was bred to be a sacrifice. And that's the truth. Didn't get me this time. My whole lifetime since I was 3 years old, they started taking me over. I was in your Fortune 100 when I was 27 years old. I was in the middle of the ExxonMobil deal running 80 contractors and knew every one of the managers at ExxonMobil. But that was 2002. When you come through the shadow, and so many of us have, because, you know, everybody that's on a healing journey, and especially most of you women that have been healing shadow and timelines and healing all this ancestry and wondering what the hell, you know, what the hell. Realized that it was going into like a backup tape of that antimatter, and it was hitting us all at once. And those times that you had to stand up, and because every single one of us had to have one event where we stood up to something that was so powerful that it shook us to our core. And in our physical, it might have just been an argument with this person, and don't get me wrong, it changed that relationship forever. But it is because of the magnitude of what we were all standing up for at once. And we literally had to split off the shadow into different groups so that it didn't kill us all. Whenever we came up to it. Because the force was so strong. It was like a galactic pulse that hit that whole black matter. So it was like those days that was in it, that we were coming through it, it literally was like the day was light, and then as soon as the sun went down, you gotta go hide, because the energy was so pure and so, but that energy charge from that antimatter was coming from a galactic pulse in space. And all of us as starseeds were literally having to be like, no! Because you can't change anything down here unless you're in a body. There ain't no angels up there anymore. We're down here. And if you're not learning how to be one, then don't expect any help from any of us. We've learned our lesson. We heal those that want to be healed. We show the light, the way. We don't go back in for anybody anymore. No way, no how, ever again will a female or anybody be set into an underworld fucking trap to lead other beings out in a DNA strand that's set to fail. Never. That's what ABO blood was, but it was necessary for a time because everything blew up. Skull and Bone started in 1923, an original sacrifice that became your body cavity. Then there were experiments and murders and everything throughout time through the Morgans and their entire apron, whatever the F-balls, your missing daughters under every dimension. They were getting carved up and sacrificed. And in this last round, they just doing it all over the place, all over Los Angeles, killing everybody. It's not even a damn big deal. Why? Antimatter pulled us so close to sources is how evil everything is. Everything needs to blow up. You also think that you could control anything. This is universal law. What's actually quite, once you really understand the physics and once you get out of your own emotions and once you get out and you get your etheric body and you get your eyes turned on up here and you get your eyes turned on down here, there ain't nothing that can touch you in between. You see all those undercurrents, and this is where our men need to get it. There is no man, I don't care how hard you stick your dick up his ass, that can ever channel what a woman can down here. I don't care if she's given birth or not. She's connected into 9 dimensions. Feminine. So all you men that think and know that we're your equal, we know, we've already kicked your ass. You can't admit you got kicked your ass by a little girl. Well, this is karma. This is universal karma. It's gonna hurt. You want to keep going. Y'all didn't want to listen. This is a learning planet. We learned, trust me, we learned karma the hard way. We went and healed you. We're still dealing with it. And this is to this divine masculine, whatever the hell balls, because you used us to make super soldiers out there, and I'm pulling all my energy from all of them right now. Because you made them so headstrong and stupid that they really don't even see how us Earth Angels helped any of them. And I pull all the energy in the Netflix contracts and all the Emerald contracts and everything that was set up on any corporation of any 22 star races that ever existed in this land, including all satellites and Tesla grids. And I command that the internet shut the fuck down if you're not going to use it appropriately. But it is my birthright. And it's what PhD 5 pulled out of my system whenever he put me in the chamber in 1983 under Texas A&M. And I've been here to resurrect it and get it back ever since. But then we get an Elon Musk and an X and Y, and then all of a sudden I'm getting thrown across my house in 2012 by some energy that stepped into my drunk prison handler, tatted DNA magnet bohey on a Viking line, and all of a sudden I'm getting killed after I just got sawed in half and hit by a car in front of Bill Bank in order to make your $59 billion mile, which is what they did here in Texas, is they hit me with a car and then they dumbed it. And then they called it a $59 billion mile, and Toyota moved in, and so did State Farm, and that became your Ottoman Empire. And funny enough, that's where I had to take my son with his Lamb jersey on, Dallas Cowboy Super Bowl night, to Union Bear. A Kia on the other corner, Honda on the other corner. So Texas, we got a problem. Because I can also prove that this Joseph character and the feds and whoever the hell y'all are, that y'all just do this to people like me and just think that you can get away with it. The day that you had me send in the more Bitcoin after you put that girl in my field in Monterey that stole my passport and my fake birth certificate that's bullshit Sierra crap anyway, and my son's birth certificate and a social security card, and you sent her to me to do that, and while you had sent me the Fed dirty money and stole my identification. And now Monterey is having a little issue down there, isn't it, with this storm? BMO Harris Bank, Bank of America, Bank of Ozarks, All of y'all were fraudulent. Something happened to your banking account. Something happened to your Akashic libraries. I didn't have anything to do with it. These motherfuckers were having us send Bitcoin and do all types of stuff whenever they knew we were fresh starseeds. They knew that we were supposed to have contact with them. Literally, the government had MJ-12 programs set up for this, and they infiltrated all of them, and they moved the Giza alignment, and they took over the entire ascension. And they stole all the energy from it, and they blew it. They did. This was your brothers. They did. Now they're trying to they've been trying to frame us the whole time for missing money. Well, there's no money. There never was money. Money isn't what you think. In the higher realms, money is your arm, your blood, your DNA. I've been telling you that. In the future, do you know how many people die from money? A bunch. You're about to see it. It is all a spell. Now, I'm not saying you don't get an energy current, because we've got one right now. But see, in my world, I never built a company with anything. I've always had to learn how to build up my own energy. You do it with healing others. You do it by communicating. You do it by hustling. You do it by doing the right thing. You do it by telling everyone your ideas. You do it by loving what you're doing. You don't do it by stealing someone's inheritance and then thinking that you can run the world because you want to be somebody. That blows up the world, Obama. And Golden Globes, you sold off all of our contracts right there with Ellen on the stage. And that was that was the kicker right there. 2019 Golden Globes. Took me 4 hours to get out of the bullshit that they set up on us there. I've been conscious the whole time. They have this Illuminati hit squad, man. Right, they were running them out of Turkey. 2020, they were all in Turkey. They had them all in Turkey. They had them all in this hotel. They were all working in tandem. They had all the celebrities, especially DC Comics. They had those ones, and on a fan site, like they had to be on a fan site like 4 or 5 hours a fucking day. They had Charlie Hunnam in India somewhere. They had them all over the place during the 2020 shutdown, and they made them all come after us. And that's the truth. Nigeria, Boss Newsom is the name I finally got out of that one. Meanwhile, you've got princesses that are being held underground all over the world. And unconscious, most of them. Did you really think we couldn't communicate with each other? We're princesses. This Joseph character ran me to for 4 years, all over California. You know, because when I first met this Joseph character, it was January 19th, 2019. I just made it back from California. I just dealt with the second round of bullshit, whatever David the Leo King and his bullshit no C and whatever the fuck that all was. Because all I was doing was showing up to get my fucking energy back that was linked to GIA. This is still all linked to GIA and them stealing my company then. The only thing I haven't had is money to fight it. All everybody reads is one side of the story, unless you can afford a lawyer. But that is what they did to us in the Evergreen to kick us out of that property too. It's what they do every single time. If you had a foreclosure, it's because you're in the line. Welcome to the party. I was making sure that we didn't fucking do it this time. You better bet your ass I'm going to stand in my power to do it too, for the rest of us. I'm not like them. They thought that they just rule me around and they were going to catch all the etheric. See, because what they know and what I know and what a lot of y'all don't know is that all the businesses from the future and all the timelines, they're already set. This bubble was already sealed. They were after us because they know what Cohu 32 is going to be. That's why they were after me as soon as I came in, which is for what I'm about to do right now. And for most of you, that's what it was. Your whole life, you were attacked for what you're about to do right now. But what you did right now came first. That's why you ended up back at home. I know that's going to hit home. The first time the wipe didn't keep going, but you're seeing the world, they got wiped. Thing is, they got wiped and there's no program. Because there's no karma. There's no deliverance of, and this is why this had to go. Because what they did is they carved up all timelines. You did each of your inheritances and why you were in the body that you were in and what you were set on to do here, they blew it all out of the water. It was Saudi. It was, I mean, they just murdered a girl because she didn't wrap her hair tight enough. And then our brotherhood men sold all us women out to Saudi. They's gonna come and just rape and kill us. That's what happens in the future. It's what happened. Everybody lost their heart and their soul because it all became under Saudi control. Thing is, it's Zeta Reticuli, and I want you off my fucking planet. You're just a bunch of gray aliens. You use me to manifest you. You use the tech community to manifest India. You took over all the technical lines. Even the .000, you set me up on with David the Leo King and that bullshit and stole that out from under me in the second day I was there. I don't even know if he's the one who did it, but it doesn't even matter because it affected both of our bullshit and affected the whole fucking line. And then all of a sudden I've got a Jason Momoa and a fucking Lenny Kravitz up my ass, and then everybody's saying I'm crazy, but yet I'm being sent to the Oasis and I'm having sins burned off me and I'm printing these motherfuckers right in front of my eyes because I'm one of them. But I wasn't trained. But yet I got The Rock Johnson throwing out $200 and pulling out an unconscious girl at the Oasis. Nobody wants to know about that? That's funny. But I'm crazy. Okay. Well, I also pulled every single line off the fire extinguisher, and I've got those in a box so I can get back to the public works to find out who the fuck is checking out the second floor wherever they're killing everybody. Drugging them. Especially to Vegas. Most of my starseeds, everybody that went to Vegas got all jacked up on something because y'all's coming there because the Divine Feminine burst there. They knew exactly what it was. They just held it in residency. Using one big bubble, you wasn't getting out. And understand that as an astronomist, when this all started, whenever I got because I got the download January 6th, still nobody wants to pull up to my door, whatever. That's why I know all this. Supposedly, this Jason Momoa character at one point when I was in Santa Barbara and he was running me on the lines on the ground. Mind you, I paid for every hotel. You think that motherfucker helped me at all? Oh, no. How about I sent them 50 grand? And he was supposed to put it in a bit account for all of us because he did make an oath on top of a mountain to protect the Divine Feminine. And then what he did was steal all of our death money from all of our dead relatives that we were supposed to do the clearing with. And then he spent it all and sold us to Saudi. He did. And I hate him for me having to say this at this point because he can't get it together. They created entities so strong and so powerful that they literally needed us to come in and help them. Realize that that most beings, which you would call the cabal, they've been helping us the whole time. This wasn't a high level issue. This was a middleman issue, trying to be something that they weren't. This was an antimatter issue. But every single dark crevice had to be shown because you cannot go into a higher vibration of physics with and a higher vibration of living and new energy. It will be shown. And then universal law kicks in, and then that's when it goes, because what's really happening is universal law. This is why those of us who have a lot of Libra, like, we ain't taking nothing. You're crazy. We ain't getting karma. Like we've had to learn different levels of balance that y'all don't even recognize. And listen, this is a learning planet. Well, all I'm saying is, all you that walking around being sorcerers, you can't be a sorcerer no more. You hurt people. You gotta take off some of your armor now and sit down and learn something. Once you do, you get your armor back. I don't know what everybody's bitching about. The whole thing is set. When it does blow, it's already been redone. It's already blown. My team's already blown it up, freaking put it back together, blown it up, put it back together, and now got a freaking interactive brand about to launch. Okay. This really is. I mean, it's a free will planet. And I'll say it till the end because it's the truth. The only reason that the ancients even got the okay to come back here and even do this. Now realize, I'm even telling you Hitler. Bodies had to be redone, remade. Y'all were stuck in Neanderthal thinking. Last time Yahshua was here, you had sand. I think you might have understood physics better. We were wrong to bring you technology. We thought technology would be better because then you'd understand that you can code your body and da-da-da, but then you wanted technology to take over your world, and then you don't want to understand that it's your body. You want the technology to do it so much that technology came and took over your world. I think we would have been better understanding physics with a sand and a rock. But then again, Yahshua couldn't understand what I understand because he didn't come back from the cosmic Christ when everything fucking blew up in a trillion-year star. He was only the one down here like Michael. Well, guess what? Michael lost his rank. All your sons lost their rank. Because your feminine is the maternal energy on this planet. The feminine's what you killed. The feminine's the heart that you didn't need. You didn't need a family. You didn't need children. You didn't need anything, right? You didn't need anything from women. Except our money. And a hole to stick your dick in. You need to go back to Saudi. I don't know who you are, or what you did, or why you came to America in the United States and started acting like this to any of us. But you can go on Mount Olympus and breed each other and try to figure out how you men can make babies and sustain, and that's fine by us. And in fact, we can AU you some space in order to do it. There's lots that needs to be cleaned from your crazy crap. You can't control anybody. You can't control you. You can't control me. You can't control your children. You can't control their fate. You can't control their destiny. You can't wish ill on anybody and it have not come back to you straight on your face like pie. Try it. Be my guest. What you're watching on a national stage is a freaking story that's been playing out so long. And all y'all's keeping it alive, too. I swear Russia's Legoland is not even there. That's what he's trying to make you manifest. Putin was getting on my message in 2018. I mean, this has been going on for 5 years. Putin used to show up. We was always having conversations, my crew, with Putin and Trump. 2018, everything was fine. I don't know what happened. That's what I said. I don't know what happened. I don't know who sold out. I don't know what got blackmailed. I don't know who got what. I don't know what ended up happening. But something happened there. And what Putin knows is that I'm still down here as well. And nobody wants to say anything. That's happening too. It's the biggest game of chicken. It is. They're heading straight for us. They're sending out missiles to the moon. Okay. You're doing it to your body, and you just killed 1 billion people. Don't look at me. This is your government. This is what you're manifesting by allowing it to continue. Like, we can't do shit. We've already done all we can do. We proved your triple crown. You're alive. We rewrote your blood. We cleared all curses from you. They know it. We know it. Your whole plan's terraforming. You're going through an eye. You're in Jonah's well, much bigger than that. And now the whole world's going through a little pinpoint, and we'll see who sticks and who doesn't. That's the point that we're at. Those of you who don't stick, you're going to go down into it a lot deeper, and you're going to wish you would have listened to us, and you better pray, and you better have faith. You better remember everything that you can, and you better follow your heart and your frequency. You got a way out. Every single one of you got a way out. But I walked the whole damn thing. I'm telling you, you should have jumped when you had the chance. And if you get a being around me, and if you get any beings that are like me around you, you better be so damn grateful. And you better ask if there's anything you need to know. And then you better say, okay, you paid it for me. Thank you. Can I buy you a sandwich? The whole world wants healing for free. But you want to charge for real estate, and you want to charge for banking, and you want to charge for money. Thing is, you can't hold any of it if your DNA ain't clean from past shit in the new. If you're holding a lot of money right now, then you're it. If you're holding a lot of money right now, then you need to get with somebody like me that's doing everything for the future, because all your shit is fixing to go down the toilet. And all you big companies that still have not decided to do the right thing, you're about to lose your ass, because all your companies are going to go backwards too. Because there was a whole set of connections on the Druid count that never happened. So there's a bunch of people that are here that never were born because y'all are ignorant and you chose to do it this way. And that's just the truth. So all of us that are starseeds that were here that had the DNA and the families that we did, this is why. Because a lot of them are being deleted right now. Only because, I don't know. See, they can't show up in the physical. I don't even think most of them are real anymore. Because if they could show up in the physical, and it meant that they were either going to die and be a Judah for the rest of its life, Judas, like known as the betrayer of the human race, and die and have muscular dystrophy, or show up at my front door, you'd think that he'd be less of a fucking pussy. But I am the alpha. That's what he can't handle. Not my problem. We're the feminine. And in the higher, we are the masculine. We channeled all your forefathers. We channeled your military command. We brought down your government without pushing a button. We're your alphas. We're your maternals. We also know how this reality works, and you're all hurting each other. So you can call us whatever you want, but right now you're in our star systems, and you're in our cosmic, and this is how it works down here with your DNA. And the faster that you figure that out, the better off everybody is. And that's the truth, because this is a reset. Everybody should be coming out of their houses going, oh my God, do you know what they had me thinking? Oh my God, do you know that I was having these fucking crazy thoughts about my daughter? Like, what the fuck? That's not me. Like, everyone needs to be coming out of their house right now, having these conversations, because it's the only thing that's going to clear your soul from it. Everybody hiding in their house, pretending like it's not happening, is what has caused this. It's not hard. Everyone needs to start thinking about others more than themselves. I don't give a fuck if your daughter is safe. I don't give a shit if your family is sitting there and you have a roof over your family's head. What have you done for anybody else? I mean, all of us just spent our entire family fortunes and get called crazy and have everybody taken away because we had to do it to save your ass. What do you owe us? You're gonna put a money on that? You like breathing? You like having a space to like build and like live? Okay, well, I think that's pretty much everything. But then you can't even give me a house in California for a second on a couch somewhere because you're busy or whatever it is. Okay, well, now you've got Hell's Angels descending on you. You've got all that happening. But I mean, then again, I warned y'all. Everybody's been watching it for 4 to 5 years. You want to act like we're not who we are? You want to act like none of that happened? Okay. We don't care anymore. Why should we? The world and the government that we signed up to do it for betrayed us on every angle. Every single being down here betrayed us. We don't trust any of you until you show up. And if you don't, then we'll keep bringing in the new. It's just a damn shame. Because we should have done this together.